Good evening. Welcome back to Kerbal Space Program. Well, welcome to a brand new Kerbal Space Program. Let's get the right game set up. There we go. Yes, it's a whole new series. It's time to go beyond home. We have a brand new solar system. We have a brand new tech tree to play with. We have all sorts of fun stuff. So I'll show you around what we've got. Brand new save. Just about to start. I've done the setup just to get that out of the way. But yeah, we're playing basically hard mode. I'm going to allow reverts. I'm going to allow reloading, just because the Kraken turns up every now and then, and I want to do a bit of experimentation as well. And we're going to do a lot more stuff with planes as well, which means we're going to need a lot more reverts because planes are a pain in the backside to get right. But once it loads up, I'll show you around our new home. And good evening, Ottergod. Hi, Tatty, Chadness. Thank you for the raid. Much appreciated. Hello, bots. Yeah, you can sort off. Beyond Boy, welcome to the stream. Perinath, good to have you here. Good to have all of you around. So yes, this is not Kerbin. It's no greeny, pleasant land. And it has a big old moon sat in the sky. This is Road, and this is our new home. No, Ottergod, we're not in Kansas anymore. Nope, it's billions of years in the future. Kerbal has gone supernova. Kerbin has been destroyed. But the colony ships made it out and found a new system and a new home, and have made themselves a new KSC right here. Road's a little bit different. The gravity is lighter, the atmosphere is a lot thinner. I believe it tops out at about 50 kilometers rather than 70. And we have a couple of moons, including this one, which is Lua, which is going to be reasonably easy to get to. And the other backstory is that basically when the Kerbals arrived, they started terraforming. They've terraformed Road. They started terraforming Lua as well, but ran out of money. And the technology was basically lost. So we are starting from scratch with our absolute basics, and we're going to go from there. In terms of tech, I've completely redone the tech tree. This is completely different to our standard tech tree, and we're starting with an unkerbled start, so we're going to go with probes first. You don't even get the first Kerbal pods until you get to about here. And we're also using a couple of contract packs, including one that makes planes relevant. So there's going to be a lot of contracts for things like launch your first glider, that sort of stuff. Which means we're going to have a completely different playthrough style as well, which will make it a bit different to what we normally do. So yeah, let's get started. Don't worry, Janice, it's going to take a while to get through that tech tree. Not be that stressful. So our first missions, we have a ton of stuff. Now, giving aircraft a purpose, the GAP mod, lets you purchase a bunch of restricted tech just to give you enough to get planes going. So we'll go through this lot and pick some of it up. So we can pick up the circular intakes, we can get the command seat, which is always handy because we're going to want rovers fairly quickly as well. Cubic strut, yes, always good. This is chewing through our money, but we can probably get through most of this. Small decoupler, electric wheels, again with the rovers. Flight control tech gives us an elevon, which is a start. A basic fuel duct, which is actually quite nice having those early, because trying to get to those is just a mess sometimes. A small fuel tank, Oscar Bs, always good to have. Basic ladders, because I never understood why Kerbals couldn't invent ladders. They can build rockets, but they couldn't get a ladder till halfway down the tech tree. It never made sense. Mini I-beam tech. Yes, thank you very much. Separatrons. Yeah, and it costs us 300. And basic wing. So now we have missions to build and fly a glider and build and fly our first aeroplane, which is something you don't normally get. As it is, I'm going to start with this one. Launch your first rocket, get it 200 meters off the ground. It's fairly straightforward. And do some science. First piece of science, scientific data from anywhere on road, on a vessel in the air. So yeah, we'll start with those two. Ladders are more complicated when you head to the same size as your body, but they're not that complicated. Not that complicated that you can't build them. So I kind of like the way this sets the tech up. You know, it gives you a few things to get going that you wouldn't normally have, but stuff that you always kind of miss when you play the standard game. You go, well, why haven't I got ladders now? Or why haven't I got a basic wing where I can build a rocket? You know, it's that sort of stuff, and it makes it for a very different way of playing it. Takes some of the frustration out. So to start with, we have no manned pods, we have no probe cores with any sort of control, we just have a Probodobodyne Stay Putnik, which has no reaction wheels, doesn't do pretty much anything. We have our Oscar B, but we have no engines for it, we just have the Mite. So we're going to stick that on there. And interestingly, we have no reaction wheels. We have no way of controlling this craft at all. It's literally a sounding rocket. It's going to go up, it's going to come down. So what we need to do is we need to stick a couple of batteries on it. Because yes, they give us battery tech at the start, which is kind of handy. We'll stick a couple of those on there. We'll get some comms, because we have a basic communicatron. We'll take just one of those. And on the opposite side, we'll take several thermometers. Which should balance out quite nicely. And then the only thing we need apart from that is we need just some basic fins. Just to make sure it stays roughly straight. Because without any control this thing could go absolutely anywhere. So yeah, that's our starting rocket. It's going to cost us 3,500 to launch it. We have 5,000 in the bank. Just enough to get us going. And if I screw this one up, well, we start again. Alright. We have comms, we have science, we have not much else we can do with this, apart from send it up and see how far it goes. Everybody ready on the mistakes counter? Because there's going to be some. What could possibly go wrong? Exactly, Tatty. Yeah, it's going to be fine. Your confidence fills me with joy, oh to God. Oh, and by the way, I'd appreciate any opinions on the new layout, because I decided that it's better to actually have the game full screen, and whilst I like having the whole, you know, chat history on the side of the screen, I think having chat fade in and out and just be transient kind of improves things a bit. Doesn't get in the way of KSP too much, but still lets you guys see what's going on. So yeah, one tiny little craft, no SAS. I will bring up our science stuff, and we'll have... oh, I don't have Kerbal Engineer ready for this one. Temperature scan from the launch pad. It's good to have, a whole 1.4 science. Well, it's going to be 1 science by the time we transmit it. That's true, Tathia, when you've got chat on the right hand side if you're not watching full screen anyway. If you're watching full screen, then you get enough you can see without it getting in the way. That was the plan anyway. Right, let's launch this baby. In 3, 2, 1. Temperature scan while flying over road sandy lowlands. And then hopefully this thing just stays straight. We have no parachutes, we have no way to bring it back. It just goes up and we hope it, you know. Hope at least we get the science transmission done before it comes back down again. I don't know how far up this thing's going to go. I mean, it's still got half its fuel in it, we're at 5,000 already, so, you know. And like I said, the atmosphere on road's pretty thin. But it is very pretty. It is very, very pretty. Space Center's down there somewhere. Temperature scan from the high atmosphere. It appears to be the perfect snack eating temperature. Open a box just to be sure, for science. I mean, you're opening the box in KSC, but I guess that works. Right, that's our 3 experiments. Let's transmit the data. Experiment successfully done. Contract's complete. There's going to be a stack of stuff in here because we had other ones from buying the parts, so I'll clear those out. But that should be our... Yep. 4 first milestones. Buy the bucket load. Plenty of cash from those. Let's clear the rest of these out. And we're in space. This thing goes quite high, it seems. I wasn't sure it would actually get this far up, but yeah, 64k and still climbing. Which is more than I expected. Yeah, you're not a big fan of the animated stuff at the top, what's it called? Yeah, fair enough. I'll consider changing it for next time. I kind of like having just a little bit of interaction stuff, so you know, you can see who followed and see who subbed and that sort of stuff without being too intrusive. Oh, this thing's still going up. Let's time warp and see just how far it goes. Also do science alert down a bit so it's not messing with that. There you go. And I fully expect this thing to burn up quite spectacularly as soon as it hits atmosphere. Oh, okay, it's the green bar. Something in the game UI. Okay, fair enough. I'll take a look at it for next time. See if I can make some tweaks to it. And now we're going to tip. Thought we might. And we're not going to burn up, but this might actually make it to ground. It's going to go make it to ground as a dart. But at least it's missing the space center, which is the important bit. And boom. Maybe boom. No rush, Kerbal. Well, that was anticlimactic. But it did the job. Did the job quite nicely. That's what sounding rockets do. They go up, they come down again. But hopefully with a little bit of science we got from that, we can start picking up some more tech now. I'm not sure we'll get the parachutes just yet, but we can at least get the barometers out and something like that and start Okay, next one up. Well, experiments around KSC, we can do those. Break the sound barrier. With a crew member on board, we're not doing crew yet. Upper atmosphere. Medium of 18k, we can do that. We've already done that. And the Kármán line. Get into space, we know we can do that as well. I'm going to take experiments around KSC first. What if I was a little rover and get these done? Just because I want the science in the bag, so I'll start putting barometers on the craft we send up to the top. So launch pad, runway, spaceplane hangar, crawl away. Okay. Let's go and build ourselves something to do that. Let's go build it in the spaceplane hangar. Because the nice thing with that little extra bit you get from the start, you know, the fuel lines and the structural bars and the rover wheels and stuff, is we can build ourselves a little tiny rover. Put a command seat on there. And if we reroute to there, should then be able to take on reroute. There we go. Now we can take that off again. Okay, Chadness. Oh, thanks for dropping by, man. I appreciate the raid as well. VODs should be up once it's done, so yeah, hopefully you can catch up with it. But take care, mate. I will catch up with you soon. Thank you for coming in. There we go. Wheels on the front. Wheels on the back. This is literally all we need on this thing. Apart from we're going to need some power. And then as much science as we can muster. Which I'm also going to go and need get the barometers unlocked, because we might as well get all the science while we can. Let's nip back into R&D a second and see if we can get extra stuff. Engineering 101, I believe, has a press map barometer in it. We've already got the ladders, solar panels as well. There's a couple of things with this that I'm going to kind of play properly, as it were. Alright, Beyond Boy, take care, man. Thank you for dropping in as well. Good to see you here. I'll catch up with you on Discord as well sometime soon. Take care, man. Thank you very much. Yes, as I was saying, there's a couple of things in here I'm going to kind of play properly with, because Universal Storage has a couple of basically reaction wheel decouplers, which are great bits of kit. I absolutely love them. They're really nice things to play with. But because I don't really get reaction wheels this early, I'm not going to use them even if I unlock them until I get the proper reaction wheels, which I believe are... There's a Probidobodyne there. First reaction wheel is here. It's deliberately placed far down the tree to make you actually, you know, have to fly stuff properly. So until I get flight control unlocked, I'm not going to use these, even though I could. But we are going to research this just for the barometer to start with. We have 11.4 science left. We've got tiny fuel tanks. I think it might be worth time to pick up some engines. The other thing I'm not going to use until they're appropriate is the Mothra fuel tanks and the Ghidorah when it comes up, because those come from Tundra Exploration. And again, Tundra, fantastic mod, absolutely love it. Gives you all the SpaceX type stuff, but it's not optimized for this particular tech tree, so they appear in the wrong place. So again, we'll just ignore those until we get to the right point. When you're sticking in this many mods, you know, it's never going to be perfect, but we can do it properly. Fabrication gives us a tiny nose cone, radar decouplers, and the FRT-100 fuel tank. We can actually start building small rockets at that point. Oscar Bs, Oscar Cs. Yeah, we'll take that. With the last 6.4, I think I'm probably going to take aeronautics as well. Tiny nose cone, liquid fuselage, yeah, liquid fuselage. We can start building the gliders and planes. Yep, let's have that. Is there anything in here we want? Nothing particular right now, but we'll pick it up shortly. Ditto with most of these. I don't think we need much of that yet. Well, we haven't got the rocket engines yet, so the fuel tank we've got are, well, useless for now, but that's fine. We'll deal with that later. First thing to do is go back to that rover and go and get the science around the KSP. I have no idea how long this series is going to run, by the way. I mean, this is, you know, starting from absolute basics and we've got a whole new solar system to explore. I suspect it's going to run for a while. That's the plan anyway. So yeah, we now have our thermometer. I'll grab some of those. A couple on there. A couple more. That gives us 4 thermometers, 4 barometers, which is enough to get the contract done. Crew-wise, we will take Bob, because, you know, scientist is always good for extra stuff. And I think he's good to go. All we have to do is just be careful not to crash it, because it's, you know, not the most stable thing in the world. What was it? Launchpad, crawl away, spaceplane hangar, and runway, wasn't it? So we will make sure we pick up those 4. We could run around the whole of KSC and pick up stuff, but we'll make sure we get those 4. Fill in the contract, and then go back up to space. Come on, Kerbal, load him. There we go. Bob's first rover. Cutest thing. Give me some science alerts. Oh, we'll take an EVA report, absolutely. Jeb is back and we're sure this is really the future. No, legends were told of the original Jeb, Bill and Bob and Valentina, and having decided to restart their space program now they're settled on road, astronauts were trained from birth with the right names. So they know it's all done in honour of the original set. And they are just as brave and just as stupid as they always were. So, okay, that's the... Check these. Crawl away, SPH. Runway's done. Launch pad. Right, let's go. I wonder how fast this thing can get up to. I wonder how fast I can make it go before it falls over. I can guarantee if I try to turn corners it's going to tip. So how much juice has this thing got? Oh, loads. We're fine for power. Oh, 11 meters a second. Not the speediest little buggy in the world, but it does the job. Just pootling around the KSC. Ooh, yeah, it's a bit twitchy on the turning. But that should be spaceplane hangar, it is. Another beautiful day at the SPH. I can't take the EVA report because it'll overwrite the existing one. And then we need the crawl away and the launch pad. Get the crawl away from by staying on the flat rather than trying to go it from the side, because we'll probably just slip over if we try and go up the hill. Done that many a time. I should have built this with a really wide wheelbase, it would have made it a whole lot easier. I'm not going to get the stuff from here because that's the mission control, and I've only got 4 of each on the rover, so I don't want to use them up too early, otherwise I won't be able to get the launch pad at the end rather. Bob. No, we're alright, stayed upright. Temperature scan from the crawl away. Thank you very much. Atmospheric pressure. The reading's pretty low right now since the crawler is not actively driving over the instrument. Not for long though. And finally we need the launch pad. Which is thankfully still a suitable distance away from the VAB. Otherwise things tend to go wrong. And atmospheric pressure scan from the launch pad? Yes. I should have a thermometer left. Why do I not have a thermometer left? SPH? Temperature scan from the launch pad. Yeah, for some reason that one didn't come up on the science report. Oh well, that's fine. Oh, we've already done it. That's why. It's not new science, but we need to do it again for the contract. That's why it didn't come up on here. That's us. That's everything. Is there a monolith in the same place as on Kerbin? I don't know, Tatty. I haven't actually checked. I suspect not. Because the monolith, like all the other stuff, is a placeable Easter egg. So I'm pretty sure there isn't. I don't know where the Easter eggs are on this actually. I've heard there's plenty of them, but I don't know where any of them are. It's one of those things we'll have to go and find out. Runway SPH crawlaway launch pad. Runway SPH crawlaway launch pad. And a bonus EVA report. 16 science in the bag. 125,000 funds in the bank. And Bob starts getting his research ribbons. And the first rover drive. So, what can we get now with 16 science? This tier is all 18, so we can't get any of those. We can get the rocket engines. We'll take that. 11.2 left. We might as well pick up these extra bits and pieces. Extra wings. Tiny structures. That's everything in tier 2. So next job is to officially complete the space missions. More experiments around KSP. Okay. Well, we'll take the common line one, and we've already got the upper atmosphere one. So we're heading for 18k and 50k, and I don't think these need crew. Oh, just need to go up. I mean, I could potentially try and put something like the Mighty in orbit. It's got the juice to get up there. But without reaction wheels, it's kind of tricky. Let's go and send another sounding rocket up. Let's go and make sure that we know where space is. I'm pretty sure we know where space is anyway, having found it last time, but you know, best to double check. We have the Mark 1 inline cockpit now, but I'm not building planes yet, so we'll just go with the same or similar thing to before. Engines, we could go with tiny engines. I'm not going to use the Marlins and the Mothras because they're from the Tundra and they're massively overpowered for where we are at the minute. So we'll use those once we get something comparable. Could just put the shrimp on here. Because that basically gives us a whole lot more thrust. And we can basically repeat what we had before, you know, we just need a couple of batteries on the outside. We take all the science. Press that barometer's way 0.005. That's the thermometers, and I know for a fact that the community control weighs 0.015. I could try and balance it all out. I really can't be bothered for the price of what these cost. So I'm just going to spam a ton of these on the outside and make sure we get all our science. So that's 6 thermometers, 6 barometers, that's going to be more than enough. We just need to make sure it stays straight. So again with the basic fins. All of those on the bottom. We have batteries, we have comms, it goes up, it comes down again. Question is, how high is it going to go? I mean, it's symmetrical, it should stay vertical. We have power to transmit everything. I think probably good to go. It costs us 12,000, which is quite a lot considering, but no biggie. Let's go send this up. Yeah, they have kind of tweaked the prices a little bit with some stuff as well. Probably expensive thermometers. Come on, Kerbal, load up. When you're ready, no rush. There we go. 2,100 delta V. So we've got more power even with the extra weight. Again, still no SAS, it goes up, it comes down again. Get science alert up so we can get all our stuff, and as soon as we take off we should get atmospheric pressure scans. But we'll get everything we can and then we'll transmit it. Alright, let's go. You wonder what a desert storm would look like? Yeah, I wonder. I don't want to find out. But road is very pretty. And this is all running, like I said, this is the Beyond Home mod for the planets. But Beyond Home is also using Parallax, both by Linx. And they make KSP look absolutely gorgeous. The detail on the ground textures and the quality of the terrain is so much better than stock. It really is. It makes a good game into a really, really, really pretty game. Don't explode from overheating. Alright, we're past 18k, we're in the upper atmosphere. The air is too thin for the barometer to function, much like how the air is too cold for a Kerbal to function. I'm kind of glad they didn't just put a command seat on the outside then, really. Or I got a bit nippy. Well, we're going to reach space, because space is only at 50k. There we go. Tempus scan in space, atmospheric pressure. At this altitude, a barometer scan is almost purely a formality. True. But we do it anyway, just to make sure it is a vacuum. And as some of you might have noticed, I've also got the mod installed that changes the science alert date information as well, because so often you'd get the stuff that says, you know, you attempt to read the pressure in a vacuum. It's as if there's no air around, or whatever it said, and you get it every single time in every single place. There should be a little bit more variation in the messages now. Yeah, up above 100k and still climbing. This is our new home, this is road. It's, you know, a little on the barren side, but it does the job. How far up are we going? 200. I wonder if that's going to count as high space. Might be close. High space on Kerbin used to be 250. I don't know what it is on road. If it is 200 and we get just above it, we're going to have a little bit of time to grab it. Oh, absolutely, Tatty. That's why I've got the communitrons on board. All this is getting transmitted as soon as I finish grabbing all the science. I just want to see if there's another set at 200, because if there is, we'll have that as well. No. No, there isn't. Okay, that's fine. Transmit all the data. Oh, I ran out of electric charge. Damn it. What data have we got left? Well, we'll never know, because we can't check anything because we haven't got an electric charge list. I honestly didn't think we'd get through both batteries quite that fast. Yep, nothing we can do with those. Nothing we can do with any of this now apart from watch it come down again. But we should have at least completed our missions. Yep. Crossed the Kármán line. We're into space. Got the upper atmosphere mission. We do actually have solar panels, Tatty. I just didn't put any on here because they're expensive and I knew this wasn't coming back. But yeah, we get a solar panel quite early on. Let's bring this down again. See if it actually survives atmospheric re-entry, because this is going to come down quite fast. And turn into a dart. Whee! Yeah, it's a bit nippy. Might pop once in a while when we get parachutes. We get parachutes once we actually start using Kerbals. But yeah, look how gorgeous this is. Apart from, you know, the bit that goes boom. Hey, some of it survived. Apparently the Stay Putnik is quite useful for surviving the impact for the rest of it. Back to Space Center. I'll pick up the debris later on. Technically we can recover it for a couple of hundred. Actually, if it's got thermometers on the side of it still, it might be worth even more. Our super expensive thermometers. Yeah, new planet already, I'm littering. Hey, that's what we're here for. As long as the range was green, that's fine. Oops. Still. Spacecraft debris, let's recover that. Oh, I got the extra science back. Hey, the barometer survived. Awesome. Make it feel like home. Pops open a can, has a sip, chucks it out the window. Yep. So bonus science from that. We got to recover the shrimp, one battery, both communicatrons, and all the science. That's 11,000 back. That was a bonus. I wasn't expecting any of that to come down. Alright, 140k in the bank. What do we do next? Suborbital and return. Ah. Actually, with the money we've got, I think I might go and see if I can upgrade stuff. Can't quite upgrade mission control yet. I can't upgrade the launch pad. Certainly can't upgrade VAB. Tracking station is 300. Okay, so I need 450 in the bank to do any serious upgrades. So I think we stick with the basic missions. Okay, suborbital and return. Let's just check we can get parachutes before we start doing that, because without them we ain't going to get back in a hurry. With 29.8 science, we can have parachutes. It's the only thing we can get at this tier, so better look at it carefully. The thing is, we're also going to need control, and linear RCS ports is probably the only way to actually get any control over the ship, because we don't have any reaction wheels yet. Which means I need to get to 36 science to put RCS on here and have parachutes. So the first thing to do, I think, is probably go and get some more science stuff. Which means taking another poodle around the KSC. Means we may as well do this one. Tracking station VAB. And somewhere in KSC itself. Okay. Seems like a plan. We'll take Bob out. Well, I need the RCS tatty because I have no reaction wheels. If I put a probe up with just a rocket on it, I have no way to turn it. The only way I can possibly turn it is using RCS. That's why our first two sounding rockets just went straight up and straight down. I could do suborbital and return, but I can't do first satellite without it. And if I'm going to take one, I'll take both and just put something into orbit. Yes, you're right. I mean, I can do suborbital and return without RCS, but I'd rather do both of those together if I'm going to do anything like that. So, you know, we can do suborbital and return and first satellite with one flight. We've got the fuel tanks to do it now. Sorry, I wasn't being clear enough what I was thinking, but yeah, I want to do both. So, back to the spaceplane hangar. Load up our rover again. And we'll take Bob out for another spin. Grab some more science. Let's load that up. I don't think we're going to need power in terms of solar panels, so I think we'll just put Bob on board. I could take some more thermometers out. And more barometers. That gives us 6 of each. We can probably go pretty much anywhere now and pick up all the science we want. We'll make sure we get the ones we need, but we can get most everything else. So, Bob's in the driving seat. Let's move that up there a bit. I am kind of tempted. That one's not the one I want, that one's too big. It's just a little cubicle tower on strut. I am kind of tempted to do something like this. Partly because it looks absolutely ridiculous. Partly because it's not going to clip at all correctly. There we go. Let's give ourselves a slightly wider wheelbase. Just so that it's less likely to tip over. That looks a little more stable. You can go away. Bob's still on board. Metal contains ceramic parts not available. The I-beam Pocket Edition. Okay. Then we'll unlock it. I guess some of the parts are early unlocks, but still have to be researched properly. You get them for a couple of missions early on. Kind of makes sense, I guess. Come on, Kerbal. Oh yeah, Tathy, what did happen to your audio at the last stream? I remember you saying it dropped out. Was it a cat-related issue by any chance? Alright, switch on the mute button. That would also do it, yeah. Yep, sitting on the mute button would definitely cost you your audio. So I need tracking station, VAB, and KSC itself. Alright. Now I know for a fact that KSC itself is actually quite hard to get because most everything is treated as a separate biome. But there is a small patch over here somewhere that counts as just KSC. Let's get science alert back up again. Temperature scan from the lowlands, absolutely. And we'll take the VVO report from there as well because they're all worth the same, we can only have one. Nope, the space note's not. Actually, you know, let's take Bob's helmet off. Because he doesn't need that under driving over this. And we can pick up the astronaut complex and administration and R&D. I think it's more of a ploughed field than Field of Bones, Tatty. I think it's meant to be, you know, general mud and sticks rather than just skulls and femurs. But if you want to look at it that way, that's entirely up to you. Yep, we'll take data from administration, absolutely. I think, if I remember right, this little bit here counts as KSC, because it's not part of anything else, it's one of the few bits that does. Yep, there we go. Takes ages to find that if you don't know where it is. What do we need? KSC, VAB, tracking station. Let's go and get tracking station and VAB first, and then we'll come back if we've got room for anything else. Probably get R&D as well. But we'll get the ones that matter for the mission. We're scan from the VAB, atmospheric pressure scan. Surprised to find a normal reading here. Probably about the only thing that is normal. Yeah, that's fair enough. This thing is so much more stable with the extended wheelbase. Should have done this first time. Tracking station. Maybe? Oh, there we go. Temperature here is bored. Oops, that's just you. Temperature is nominal. The staff at the tracking station are unimpressed with your lowly barometer since it can't predict space storms. Yeah. Hey Zevcat. This thing is great. It turns on a dime, doesn't fall over. Let's go and get R&D as well, because we've got the spare science space on board. And then we'll send some more stuff back up into space. And that should be R&D. Did we already get R&D? Or did we just fill everything up? No, we filled everything up. Okay, that's fine. Alright, thank you Bob. Job done. Your driving skills are much appreciated. And I will be adding you guys back into the crew as we go along as well. Don't worry, I'm not gonna leave my viewers out. As you pick up more Kerbals, you lot will get added back in. 23 science earned, we have 52. 11,000 recovered, and we're back up to 160k. Perfect. Which means we can get both RCS and parachutes. And are just short of getting something else in this tier. Which is a shame, because that would have given us Mystery Goo as well. Where can I nip out to that I can pick up another 2 science from? Well, we could go to R&D, we haven't got R&D yet. Or I could just launch. We're going to pick up this stuff later on anyway, we don't need Mystery Goo right now. Early aviation could be fun though. Basic construction gives us a whole bunch of stuff, including bigger fuel tanks, landing legs. Right, let's put something in space. It's actually going to stay in space. Could do an easy EVA from launch pad, that's true. That's true. Yeah, I'm missing EVA reports, aren't I? That's a very good point, Daddy. Yeah, sorry, right, let's go and get them. Let's get the Mystery Goo stuff as well, just to the bonus science. And then we'll see if we can put something in orbit using just RCS and no reaction wheels. It's not something I've ever done before, I don't think. I don't want to launch that one. I want to launch that one. But I kind of want to launch it on... Oh, you don't want to let me switch launch location from here, are you? That's fine. We'll put it on the runway until we get an EVA available. Oh, and suddenly the command seat is no longer a viable option. Interesting. Interesting, they start taking the parts away from you again, you have to go and pay for them. I guess it kind of makes sense. You just pay for early access, I guess. Let's open up our extended craft. Purchase the command seat and launch it. Oh, okay. You want crew as well? Fine. Yeah, let's grab an EVA from somewhere. We haven't done already. I can go and get data from mission control as well, we never got that first time round. Quick sprint down the runway. Grab some more science. Unlock mystery goo, and then we'll go to space. Somewhere in there. Did I miss a sub from somebody? I'm seeing 2 subscribers on my list and I didn't see one come in. If I did, thank you very much. I'm just going to check that. If I can find it. Let me have a look. Let's get Bob going first. No, maybe not. Maybe OBS is just getting confused. I don't know. Alright, come on Bob. Things to do. If somebody did sub and I haven't picked it up, then thank you very much. And if you want to post in chat and say it was you, then I will give you a shout out. It's possible OBS is just getting confused. Or it might be a Twitch Prime resub that's not coming through properly because reasons. Right, there's our EVA report. KSC tour stop number 8 of 31. Welcome to the Spaceplane Hangar. Let's go and get data from mission control as well over here. This thing is great, it really just does not want to tip. I mean, I'm not saying it's, you know, Formula 1 levels of downforce, but it's certainly a lot better than the original build. Temperature scan. Temperature here is elevated from the tense atmosphere. Mission control is glad to hear that the reading indicates favourable conditions for a launch. And for lunch too. Gotta have snacks. Cheers, Bob. Well, I know all this pootling around KSC is not the most exciting content, but you know, that's what you have to do when you're starting from scratch. Well, if the Kerbals hadn't lost all the tech that they had billions of years ago and just had these ancient legends and actually remembered how to do stuff, then it wouldn't be a problem, but time passes, colony ships get destroyed, they have to relearn things. So, we are going to go for suborbital and first satellite. Yeah, we'll go with those two. Orbit Road is never going to vanish, so we can afford to do it twice. It's not going to take it away from us if we go and complete it. I'm just aware that some contracts occasionally disappear, but that one should stay.